This is coming out without a doubt. This one, taking this out now, as proof to you. I was semi-thinking of selling it on because it had a slip, wasn't I? I remember saying that I thought on ordering it, even knowing it was going to have a slip. To be honest with you, I can't be arsed selling it on. I'm just going to keep it, put it in my folder, take it off the shelf, keep the Amaray like I'm going to do with In the Cold Light of Day. I'm going to keep the Amaray instead of selling it on and making 50 pence. I'm going to keep the disc, lash the slip cover, and keep the Amaray. I'm due to buy a new one of these anyway, so the quicker I fill these last 2, 4, 6, 2, 8 holdings, the better. If anybody wants that slip cover, it's the UK size, it's the thicker Amaray. In fact, what I will do is, if anyone wants this case, right, if anyone wants that without the disc, just write me a PO box. If anyone wants this, okay, without disc, for now, just message me, tweet me, in fact, privately message me your PO box, right, privately get to me a PO box address so I can mail it to you, right. I will leave my email in the description below, okay? If anyone out there wants this case plus slip and the artwork to the movie, you know, not just the Amaray, the actual paper surrounding the Amaray as well. If you want this, basically, with that, but with bar the movie, I'll give it you for now. If you want it, get me your PO box and I'll mail it you for nothing, right? Otherwise, it's going in the bin. And if you're very good, I'll send you the disc as well, okay? Don't you think he looks like Jude Law? I mean, George Clooney. Don't you think he looks like George Clooney? There, it's better, isn't it? There. Don't you think he looks like George Clooney? I remember Jude Law when he was his age, and even younger than his age there now. I remember Jude Law. Back when you watched that movie he did with Good Will Hunting, right? Watch Good Will Hunting, right? And he's even younger than he is in this movie, right? It must be sickening for the players now to have for the directors of their movies to use de-aging CG. It must be so terribly disheartening. He's like a 13-year-old. He's like a prepubescent. He's a prepubescent in Good Will Hunting, isn't he? With like a blonde floppy fringe, isn't he? He plays like a gigolo, doesn't he? He's like a rent boy, isn't he? Basically, in Good Will Hunting, isn't he? That said floppy blonde fringe. And look at him here now. That's the way he is. But at the beginning of the movie, they use de-aging CG, don't they, for him at the beginning of the movie. It must be horrible for them to watch their movies back now, mustn't it? Mustn't it? It must be, mustn't it? It is only 5 minutes ago that he was his age, wasn't it? It was, wasn't it? You're watching this out on YouTube land. Wasn't it only 5 minutes ago that Jude Law was even younger than him? Wasn't it? Wasn't he? Wasn't he? Isn't it only just 5 minutes ago that he was even younger than him? Isn't it? And now look at him. He looks like George flipping Clooney, doesn't he? That's him now at his current age. It looks just like George Clooney, doesn't he? And then you watch Good Will Hunting, you put Good Will Hunting on. It's just really strange, isn't it? I thought I'd pull this movie out even though I didn't buy it in this time period. I thought I'd add it in the Miscellaneous. Just to say what a fantastic 3D movie this is. Fantastic. Fantastic, alright? Okay. And also I wanted to say, doesn't he, how he looks just like George Clooney. Right, okay. Fantastic in the surround sound, this, like, fantastic. Okay, moving on, right. Also this, I didn't buy this in this period of time, but what I will say is, this movie is another one which is fantastic in 3D, especially the first 20 minutes. It's just one of them where it's like, great, fantastic, one of them where your bottom jaw drops with the quality of what you're watching. You cannot fathom the brilliance of it whilst you're watching it. One of those movies where it's like that, had that effect on me. I couldn't believe the quality of 3D I was watching. Whether or not I was just simply in the right frame of mind to watching a 3D movie that particular time when I watched this a short while ago. I didn't buy it bloody 10 years ago, this movie. It was only a little while ago. I think it was in the last buys off. What I'll say, I pulled it up again for this Miscellaneous just to say what a fantastic 3D movie. And they're all conversions now, aren't they? Jaw-dropping stuff. I prefer this one than the other one they did, right? Where they're all like this age group, yeah? This age, yeah. I prefer this one, yeah? Okay, moving on. That is just brilliant. Again, I just thought to throw it in, even though I bought it in the previous series of myself. That the introduction again, the 3D sequences at the beginning, an absolute to behold. Run-of-the-mill drama, most of it is simply a run-of-the-mill drama. These sets from Greece I bought, and I will highly recommend these sets from Greece. They're lovely little slimline Blu-rays. You know, I was saying how the English Blu-rays are so thick. The slips as well. So neat and compact. Like these two, the issues which Greece, the issues for Greece, the Greek standard issues which are coming in these nice little sets. These bog standard Amore sets. They look wonderful on the shelf. The lovely little slimline together with the slips and with the Greek writing all over and the Greek lettering. It sounds stupid, doesn't it? But because that to a Greek national is the same as an English text to an English national. But they do just so happen I am an English national, and that looks nice on my shelf. The Greek writing with the slimline cases, and they're all set in this nice glossy offset. Slips are nice. Very nice they are. All the graphic art on them all is all the same. Now, it could be because they're all this particular company. Maybe they're all in this graphic design set. It could be that's the case. Hang on, let me go and get the King Arthur one back. Hang on. Got the King Arthur one back here. See how lovely they look as a pair. Okay. Now, one's Warner Brothers, the other's Columbia Pictures. They don't seem to have anything in common in regards to the companies, the people with money behind them, people who have made the movie. They don't seem to have any in common there. maybe all the Greek issues are all coming out like that. Maybe all the Greek standards are like that. With the glossy, see the lovely glossy slips? How wonderful they are. How wonderful they are. Oh, maybe it's because I'm an English national and we're used to the broader type. Maybe in the US, where I know their Amore is a slimline by standard, maybe this is not such a big deal to you. But to me, yeah, I thought what with me mentioning, I thought I'd bring this to the camera also and say just what a lovely pair, how lovely the Greek issues are at the moment. The last thing I'm going to say, last issue I'm going to touch on for this miscellaneous, and thus, therefore, this buys off series for this period of time. Still waiting for a 3D issue of this movie to be put out. Someone out there, please, let's get a 3D conversion job of this put out. It's one of those movies set in an anaglyph style of 3D rather than the real D that we used to of late. Even though if it was to be put out in 3D, it would obviously be in the real D. But it's like the 3D, the type 3D in it, is the type of 3D we would see back in the day, back in the 80s, the anaglyph style of 3D. Where it's very obvious and very gratuitous. But it's nicely done when you watch it in the 2D form. It's nicely done. It's fashioned nicely throughout this movie, right? As obvious as it is, it's in your face as the anaglyph style is. It's quite nicely spread throughout this movie. It's not so clustered, and I think it would suit. Please, let's get one. Let's please get one done for the home market, yeah? Blu-ray 3D companies out there, please let's get a 3D for the in-home market of this movie. Right, okay, that's it. Finale, that's it. Finally wound up this miscellaneous. January to May 20. There's going to be another series of these vids up in about a month or a month and a half. So, yeah, the time just flies. Flies, it does. Just flies. Especially the summer months, they just fly, and they end up coming up to Christmas and they all bunch up. So I promise I'll get one out before the end of the summer, another series, another buys off set of vids before the end of the summer. I will, at least mid-autumn. I'm not going to leave it, I won't leave till Christmas and New Year again. That was terrible. Last time I did, last Christmas I allowed it to bunch right up. Yeah, it was basically a whole 12-month period I had to squeeze into one set of buys off vids. This one, just January to May, this one. I promise I'll try and get one out before October, okay? That must be the director, because I don't recognise him as a player from the movie. Yeah, I assume that's the movie director. I assume this is like a behind the scenes still. I assume this is. Yeah, I don't recognise this scene from the movie. I do not recognise that at all. A scene, so to speak, from the movie. So I will assume that is like, yeah, like a nice little touch for the media book. They put in right at the beginning, and sort of like where the credits are in the introduction. I just assume that as a nice little touch, they put like a behind the scenes still to make up like a double spread for the intro, which is, it's very nice. It's very nice with Digibook. Yeah, I recognise that. That's from a scene from the movie. Yeah, that there's a scene from the movie. The person lying down on the front, and there's the hand of another person. Yeah, that's in the art studio where she works. She's like a curator of an art studio in the movie. She is. That's Superman's girlfriend in the DC movies. That is Amy Adams, isn't it? Yeah. She's a curator in art studio. Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's right. There's a scene in the movie where she is actually sat on. There's the feet. There's another one there. There's the feet of one of the people lying down. That's right. There's 4 of them lying down in a scene. There's 4 of them lying down where she sat on the edge of one of them. And there's a close of it where it moves in, the camera moves in, like there's a body shot of Amy Adams' character, and then a close up of her face where she's like just like contemplating life. That's like a scene in the movie. Yeah, it's coming back to me now as I'm opening the Digibook, and I guess that's the director of the movie discussing the scene between director and player. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I will put money on the fact that this is simply a behind the scenes still for the introduction of the Digibook. Really nice touch. I never knew what Tom Ford looked like. Tom Ford, the director of the movie, I never knew what he looked like. This must be him. It's difficult because the words are in. It is I think it's Polish. The country of origin's Polish. She's a player in the movie. She's in it at the beginning. Well, it's not the beginning of the movie because of the way it's been edited. It's one would say it was at the beginning of the narrative in the movie. I won't say any more than that. But yeah, she is a player from the movie. Same situation with them. When I did a close-up of them, I would just glance through the text. Country of origin of the fan editions, I think they were French. They were. Memory serves me, they were French. Yeah. Great, if you can understand the text, that's why I'm still photographing it. It has to be. Sure, that browser. I'm sure the internet can translate the text for you. Great, solid movie, solid. solid. I would say it was 8, 9 out of 10. Solid. A movie I would not have come across, complete blind buy. I bought it simply for the packaging, for the digibook, because it was so cheap. For some reason, it wasn't particularly nice. It wasn't particularly a Midnight Madness buy. It was just simply there, just really, really inexpensive for a digibook and of this. But these two are two main players in the movie. Two of the main players in the movie. Like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 main players in the movie. These two solid, outstanding performances. I remember when this movie was being made, actually. I remember seeing it online when it was being made. There was some kind of there was some fuss made of this movie when it was being made, akin to Hell or High Water with the Gentile Star Trek movies in. Chris Pine lost a lot of weight for that movie, Hell or High Water. He just lost a lot of weight for it and grew a moustache for his character. To completely contrast with the Star Trek movies, which he was so used to being seen in. And there was a lot. And this movie with the gentleman here, exactly the same type of fuss made of this movie for the same reasons. This gent here, the character he had chosen to play, with it coming straight after Man of Steel, on the heels of Man of Steel, where he was known to be in the commercial limelight, this being like an off-cut independent type movie. He was playing so soon after a hit, and there was similar kind of fuss was made of this. Okay. None of these images, none of these are spoilers for the movie. None of them are. Don't worry. It just is a better movie than Hell or High Water. Just is. There's just more meat on the bone. This movie has more meat on the bone. Even though the two players had virtually zero on their bones. Type style, 70s type wardrobe, image, hat. Chris Pine's Hell or High Water. The way Chris Pine lost loads of weight, quite gaunt, to look quite gaunt with the 70s mustache. Same kind of look, same kind of fuss was made of this movie for the same reasons. It was quite crap. Hell or High Water, the one I'm comparing. It was quite crap, actually. It was just, it was totally unlaid. It was just run of the mill. It was just totally, completely and utterly run of the mill movie. Boring, so one I would say boring. Whereas this had a complex, layered narrative. When you're with your mates in a darkened bedroom and you're all just sat there in complete silence watching it, you just completely grip your phone. When I found it had the same kind of feel for me, like akin to when I was a kid with my mates sitting around a little portable telly in a bedroom, being totally gripped, having to stay there, sat, watching it, regardless, because it was so good, fresh to the eye. Found this movie to be just the same. This movie had the same kind of effect. Shockingly good, actually. Shockingly good. It was shockingly good. shockingly good. Yeah, it was. Shockingly good. It was the way it ended as well. The way it yeah. So fair. I wouldn't recommend it if you were under 35 years old. I wouldn't recommend it. Wouldn't recommend it. At least 35 years old. Okay? If you were under 35, I would say you just wouldn't want to stay with it. Yeah. I think that's what you would find. If you're under 35 watching this, you would simply, you wouldn't want to stay with it. You just wouldn't. Okay? You just wouldn't stay with it if you were under 35 years old. My opinion, my humble opinion, you just wouldn't stay with it. Eight, 9 out of 10. Yeah. That's a picture on the wall, that is a picture on the wall. I was just trying to see who that was. It looks like someone standing in a field, doesn't it? So, no, don't worry yourself over that. That's a picture. Remember, I was saying how she is a curator in an art gallery. It's her occupation. She's she runs an art gallery. Yeah. It's just a picture on the wall there. Okay. That's a purse, that is. That's a purse. The jacket she's got over. It's a dress she's wearing. Hey. Oh. There you go. See? Okay. Alright. Brilliant, I think. Brilliant. Marvellous. Marvellous. That's the image there. The image on the desk is the image on the front thing. So the image there. It's a wash. Jake Gyllenhaal wash with Amy Adams' face, like a wash over. Okay. Spread. Mirage spread. Okay. Blended spread of the two images with the image of Jake and Amy. heartily recommend this movie. These are stills from the inside pages. Yeah, that must have been, I can't remember now speaking to you if that was or not, but it must have been, because I recognise those other three. Yeah, that must have been, it must have been, mustn't it? Otherwise it wouldn't be there, would it? There we go. We're here, we're in the UK, we're 2, in the UK 2, region 2. Yeah, it's Polish, see the first tech, the first surround sound encode is Polski. See there, Polska. That's from your tweet. If you've seen the address where this has been originated from, this is who if it's been in the text as to who's been made this, then let me know, please. If you've been talented enough to spot where this has been made within the text, then let me know, please. Message me so I can buy more of them. I'll be mega made up. I'd love to own more of them. Lovely DVD logo there. I'm having to move my thumb like this for the camera to get focus, excuse me. See, I love the little attention to detail. I love the attention to detail. I love the way that little logo's there. I love it. I absolutely adore it. I do. Absolutely. I love it. I do love it, man. I do. I love it on the shelf, how it looks on the shelf. I do. I love the tiny little attention to details. Some of these issues specialise in. They put them there because they know people are a sucker for it. They know it's what people collectors fall in love with things like that. The little stamped logos and things like that. It's really weird how addictive things can be. Isn't it really weird how things can be addictive? Isn't it really weird? If the complexity of the brains we have in our head. We can fall so deeply in love with them. Things so disposable as this. We can send men to the moon. Isn't it so bizarre?